Welcome to the YSH Code, everyone, and today's video is about filming YouTube videos. If you've been on YouTube for an extended period of time, then you know that videos can either be like this, where I film like this, using a selfie stick, talking a bunch of nonsense, turn off my camera, add no edits, and then upload my file onto YouTube. Or like this, where content creators use a variety of techniques to not only gain your attention, but to increase watch time. This can include everything from camera gear, better lighting, using effects such as tiles, transitions, and overlays. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the latter. And if you are starting out on YouTube and beginning to film videos, I'm going to share with you some of the problems that you may encounter when filming. So, let's go. Let's go. Go! If you don't have your own dedicated filming studio, then you're like me and you're always required to carry your camera gear and set up in the place where you decide to film. One of the downfalls to this is that when you move your camera gear from one place to the other, you run the risk of damaging it, such as nicking the tripod leg against the wall and hopefully not dropping your camera. Another disadvantage to this is that every time you place your lights, camera, microphone, where and how you sit, it isn't in the exact same position as your previous videos. This can affect the way your video looks and eventually make them inconsistent. So if you could find a space within your house or wherever you film to make it your dedicated filming studio, I would highly suggest you do it. It will save you a lot of time and speed up your workflow. If you filmed enough YouTube videos, then I'm pretty sure you have come across this, and if you haven't, you will eventually see it, and is what I like to refer to as content creator's block, also known as writer's block, where you lack a sense of creativity to implement in your videos so that they are as interesting and entertaining as possible. This usually happens to me. Take for example, I'll have an idea of what I want to film, I'll think it's great, I'll know how to film it, know what kind of B-roll I want to use, the effects and transitions that I'll implement in my video, but then the next day I'll look at that same idea, think it's completely trash, throw it out, and then not film that video at all. This is completely natural and happens to all of us, where we go through a phase when we lack creativity to implement in our videos. There are two things that I actually do to overcome this. The first thing is to get away from it all. Stop filming, go do something you enjoy, and then relax. When you have felt relaxed, come back, watch the YouTubers that you enjoy to take away snippets on what they do to make their videos interesting. Don't steal from them, but really analyze their videos and learn on how you can implement what they do in your own videos so that you can communicate your message in an effective and entertaining way. Now, whenever you begin to start to edit YouTube videos or any videos in general, there will be a learning curve that you actually have to overcome. And learning the functions of the software can take some time. And I find one of the biggest problems that I have is that when I have an idea and I want my video to look a certain way or to implement a certain effect, it's not as easy as I first originally thought. Using things such as transitions, motions, overlay, and then also tracking can be a little difficult. Another thing you have to do when you edit your videos is to constantly watch them over and over to check for any mistakes and that if you have the correct look that you're going for. By far, I would say this is the second biggest thing that takes up my time when creating YouTube videos. By far, this is the #1 time-consuming thing and the #1 problem that I have when creating these videos. It's basically creating dialogue, or what I'm actually going to say in my videos. There are basically two main issues here. The first is speaking in an eloquent way and using language so that you can communicate to your audience in an effective and also interesting way in which they can understand.
In faith, I do not love thee with mine eyes, for they in thee 1,000 errors see, but 'tis my heart.
This does take time and some also writing skills so that you don't use the same words over and over and then you begin to sound repetitive and boring. The second thing is that I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this in movie bloopers or TV show bloopers, and that is basically making mistakes while you speak in front of the camera. I'm not sure why, but when I speak in front of everyday people, you rarely ever stutter. You may say the occasional yeah, a, but for some reason, when I shoot in front of the camera, I'm constantly making mistakes. And sometimes you may even have to go to school for it and purchase certain equipment. That wasn't good. Gotta do it again. Then you can consider purchasing these. This doesn't give my video a. This doesn't give my. There are some scenarios that you can't even get without the proper equipment, such as a drone or a super smooth shot while using a gimbal. These filming techniques have a bigger learning curve than video editing, speaking in front of the camera, or basically using your equipment. What? And in some cases, you may even have to take a course. Now I don't know what I'm going to say. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Just to give you guys an example of how much time it does take for me, the previous clip that I filmed, let's just say talking about video editing, that 1 minute or let's just say 30-second clip would normally take me an hour to film because I would make so many mistakes or I would change the words that I want to express in that short part of my video. So get your words right and I promise you filming will be much easier. Wow, I can't believe I even just did all of that in one shot. There's a saying in photography that the best camera you have to film with is the one you currently own. Although I would like new camera gear, lighting, a gimbal, and an action cam, unfortunately I am restricted to using what I have because getting all those things does cost money, and if you want to get further into photography, it is an expensive hobby. Another factor that will affect on how you create these videos is the power of your laptop. Fortunately for me, Filmora Pro doesn't require a dedicated GPU, but if you want to upgrade to anything such as Premiere Pro, you will definitely need a higher spec computer, and of course that also costs money as well. And the last thing I want to say about equipment, which is similar to video editing, you do have to take time to learn how to use everything you have, everything from your camera, your lighting, and the lenses that you own. While it is easy for me to plot my camera on a tripod and sit here in a static position talking to you guys, it doesn't give my videos variety and doesn't make it interesting and engaging for the viewers. We've all seen those shots that pro YouTubers get, whether it's up close for a product presentation or an overhead view of the city. I would say that these filming techniques has a bigger learning curve than video editing, speaking in front of a camera, or learning how to use your equipment. These skills do take a long time to develop well, and in some cases you may even have to take a course. There are even certain shots that you can't even get without the use of a gimbal or a drone. But I think if you want to purchase these equipment, just make sure that whatever clips that you capture helps convey the message that you want your viewers to see and matches the tone of your video. For now, I think it's best that you work with what you have, and as you advance, then you may want to consider purchasing these equipments. By far, I think this has been the biggest Achilles heel for me when creating my YouTube videos, and if you look in my past videos, there were only a few occasions where I filmed outside. One of the big problems is that wherever you film, you may be restricted on what you can shoot and capture. There are some businesses that don't mind it, and then others that won't even let you in without a camera, and you'll be scrutinized on what you do with it. Another weird thing is that when you are filming and then you're basically talking to your camera, while other people are looking at you strangely, you can become self-conscious. But this is just the nature of the beast, and it's something you have to overcome when filming YouTube videos. And if you want to grow your channel, I would highly recommend that you tackle this problem first. And do be respectful whenever you film in public. Not everyone wants to be in your scene, and not everyone wants to be on YouTube. If you do encounter a situation where someone comes up and respectfully asks you not to film here or to capture them in the scene, do your best to find a solution. There's no point in getting over an argument just because you want to film somewhere and they don't want to be in it. There are a million ways to solve a single problem. I think if you really want to be successful on YouTube, you do have to remain consistent on the videos that you upload, and it should be on a fixed schedule. This has been one area that I really struggled in because, YouTube isn't my full-time job and I have a lot of other things going on, such as my main job. I like to exercise, and I also like to take the time to go out and do other things. But if you really want to take the path to becoming a full-time YouTuber, then really consider the work-life balance and what you have to do to be able to upload videos on a consistent basis. Take for example myself. When I first started YouTube a year ago, for me to create and upload a 10-minute video took me about 2 weeks. I had to put time aside to film, to collect B-roll, to learn the video editing software that I was using at the time, and to finally review all of that to make sure that there weren't any mistakes and that I was conveying the correct information in all my videos before actually uploading it. Today, after a year of filming videos for YouTube, generally I would say for me to film a video like this from start to end, if I put all my time into it, would normally take me about 2 to 3 days. But because I have other things going on in my life, it normally takes me 3 to 5 days. So really consider how much time you want to put in YouTube and how you can balance everything else that is going on in your life. There's nothing more demoralizing when you put so much time and effort into a video in which you think is good, but when you upload it to YouTube, it only generates like 13 views after a single day. Whereas when you see other YouTubers, within the first hour of them uploading a video, it already has 5,000 views. While this can deter you from making any future videos or push you away, don't let it do that. Part of growing is developing and continually learning. No one starts at the top, and for me, I'm actually in this current position, and there are times where I look at my views and a bit sad, of course, that is not where I would like it to be. But in the end, for me, I'm enjoying this overall process because I've been able to improve on my editing skills, speak in front of a camera a lot better, and I think the biggest achievement is just basically putting myself onto YouTube. So if you're in this position, don't let it get you down. Continue to work hard, learn, and progress. So that's my video for today, guys. I hope I addressed some of the problems that you may encounter when filming a YouTube video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, or subscribe. So until next time, take care.